Increased ground clearance and the ability to handle rough terrain are the strengths of off-roaders and SUVs. But now VW has produced a station wagon with off-road capabilities. We tested the new VW Passat Alltrack in its most powerful diesel variant with 125 kilowatts and permanent all-wheel drive. All-wheel drive is especially advantageous on slippery roads. Legendary race car driver Hans-Joachim Stuck praises the virtues of all-wheel drive, in particular as a safety feature, whether for race drivers like himself or for everyday use. All-wheel drive supports acceleration, and that greatly helps maintain an even course when the car aquaplanes. The car pulls itself back into line. Stuck says winter conditions definitely call for all-wheel drive. Details distinguish the Passat Alltrack from the standard model. Stuck is enthusiastic about the car's appearance, pointing out the widened fenders, which hint at the all-wheel system, and the vehicle's new front is elegant. He says the car's suitable for all purposes. The Alltrack is 4.77 metres long, 3 centimetres longer than the variant. The casings at the side mirrors and window frames are finished in matte chrome. The front and rear underbody guard and fog lights in stainless steel look come as standard. The Alltrack name can be found in several places, so no one forgets what he's driving. Automatic climate control and a multifunctional leather steering wheel come as standard, as does the titanium trim. Off-road, the bumpy ground can be counted on to keep the driver awake. The newly developed fatigue detection system does the same in everyday street use. Otherwise, the interior resembles that of the normal Passat. Along with safety systems like ABS, the car comes equipped with hill descent assist and an electronic transverse differential lock. Driving instructor Niki Infer tells us more about the Alltrack's advantages. She says a normal Passat would have a much tougher time in this situation because its rear-wheel drive would simply not be enough. She notes that the hill descent assist can't show everything it can do here because of the ice, but it does ensure that the car doesn't move too fast. The electronic transverse differential lock recognizes when a wheel spins, brakes it, and adjusts the engine speed. The big sheet metal underbody guard protects the motor, transmission, and oil pan in rough terrain. This Passat Alltrack comes with Blue Motion technology and a 6-gear direct shift gearbox, or DSG for short. The car consumes 5.9 litres of diesel for 100 kilometres driven. But not all versions of the Alltrack come with all-wheel drive. It's only found in variants with the more powerful engines. What all Alltracks do have is high torque, even at low RPM. Our test car produces 350 Newton-meters of torque at a mere 1,750 revolutions per minute. And that kind of power can make a crucial difference in difficult off-road situations. Comfort, elegance, understatement. That just about sums up many of today's top-of-the-range cars. Today we compare two of them, the Mercedes CLS 350 and the Audi A7 Sportback. It's a duel between two German heavyweights, both elegant and speedy. The Audi A7 has classic sleek lines. The narrow but powerful LED headlights are a decisive feature of the exterior design. Despite the coupe look, the car appears spacious. The slimline rear is enhanced by the two-section rear lights that stretch over the trunk lid. The interior is equally sleek, with luxury leather seating and a sense of space and light. The navigation system has a fold-in screen, and the Bang & Olufsen sound system definitely ensures a high-quality experience. The Mercedes CLS 350 has a more sporty look, emphasised by the thrusting grille and dynamic sleeked back headlights. Then there's the dropping lines that automatically draw the eye towards the rear. The interior features high-quality leather and wood trim. The controls are clearly arranged and dominated by the centrally positioned speedometer. The seats are equipped with heating and air conditioning. The large onboard screen is integrated neatly into the dashboard. Two 3-litre diesel engines make up the firepower in this duel. The A7 has 180 kilowatts and can go from 0 to 100 kilometres an hour in 6.3 seconds. Its top speed is 250 kilometres an hour. It has a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. Fuel consumption is said to be 5.9 litres per 100 kilometres. The Audi A7 glides along easily, and switching gears is swift and smooth. The Mercedes CLS 350 has almost identical specifications. It powers from 0 to 100 in 6.4 seconds and also has a top speed of 250 kilometres an hour. But the 6-cylinder Mercedes engine trumps Audi with 195 kilowatts. The CLS also has a 7-speed automatic transmission and a fuel consumption of 6.7 litres, helped by Mercedes' Blue Efficiency technology. The CLS speeds round bends easily and is extremely sure-footed on the road without any loss of driving comfort. The first differences become apparent in the amount of space available. The Audi offers 535 litres of trunk space. Still, we only just managed to fit in our two suitcases measuring 59 by 81 centimetres each. The automatic closing mechanism needs a little help. The interior has clearly been built for short people. Our test driver is 1 metre 88 tall and has problems in the driver's seat. In the rear too, both his head and knees are uncomfortably short of space. The CLS 350 offers just 520 litres of trunk space and a smaller opening than the Audi. But, surprisingly, our two suitcases fit in here more easily. Once again, it's a bit of a squeeze for our driver, but he says it's not as bad as the Audi, and his knees definitely have more space in the rear. The second difference is the driving assistance functions. The Mercedes offers a speed limit assistant, a distance warning system, active parking aid and rollover sensor. Standard equipment in this class includes automatic road sign recognition and lane keeping assist. With all these and further extras, our test car costs €83,350 in Germany. The A7 Sportback, on the other hand, makes do with a lane assist system, tempo limit display, parking sensors and head-up display. Our test A7 costs a handsome €92,700. That includes a night view assistant with automatic pedestrian recognition that alone costs €1,600. both cars claim to be extremely quiet. In the case of the Audi, that's really true. During Autobahn driving up to 150 km an hour, it reaches just 70 decibels. The Mercedes is noticeably louder. At the same speed, the decibel counter shows values up to 76 decibels. But the A7 still loses the duel by a narrow margin. The lack of space and safety extras tip the scales. At €92,700, the Audi also costs nearly $10,000 more than the Mercedes. The CLS 350 has the same sized engine as the Audi, but offers 15 kilowatts more power and, on closer inspection, also feels more spacious, as our seating and cargo tests showed. The price of €83,350 also speaks in its favour. BMW's 6 Series is now available with four-wheel drive. The X-Drive, as it's called, is available in the most powerful diesel version, the 640D, and the most powerful gasoline version, the 650i. The 8-speed automatic transmission is standard equipment and allows the driver to choose between automatic and manual shift by using 2 switches on the steering wheel. The 640D X-Drive sells in Germany from €81,680 and up. The CeBIT in Hanover is one of the world's most important IT trade fairs. This year, for the first time, Audi is exhibiting there with its new A3. To a certain extent, Audi has pioneered the networking of driver and automobile. The company is showcasing its new navigation system, which features a rotary push-button designed as a touchpad, conceived to make it easier to enter data. External programs like Google Street View are also now standard components in modern navigation devices. Today, we test the Ford S-Max. It was first produced in 2006 and has since undergone several improvements. With it, the manufacturer is targeting young people who want lots of cargo space but also sporty handling characteristics. We wanted to find out whether the S-Max lives up to that goal of combining space with sporty dynamics. The Ford S-Max we tested has an automatic start-stop mechanism to save fuel. As soon as the car stops and is shifted to neutral, the motor shuts off. When the driver shifts again, the motor starts and off the car goes. High-quality materials are used in the interior and the dashboard is well arranged. The electronic positioner for the seats works well, making them easy to adjust. And the seats are comfortable, even on longer drives. The gleaming black chrome-framed front is an eye-catcher that underscores the car's sportiness. Overall, the car has a powerful feel to it. The windows are also framed in chrome. The rear-view camera is under the logo script. The trunk provides lots of space, as you'd expect in a van, enough for 2 heavy-duty shelves. Still unassembled in their packages, they would also fit in a compact. But assembled, these shelves are 1.9 metres long and 80 centimetres wide. No compact could accommodate them. But they're no problem for the Ford S-Max. The back seats are easily folded down, increasing the storage space from 1,071 litres with 5 seats to a whopping 2,100 litres with 2 seats. And the cargo area is flat with a low trunk sill. The wide trunk opening makes it easy to load even bulky objects. In the S-Max we tested, the small 1.6-litre gasoline engine performed well. 118 kilowatts accelerate the van from 0 to 100 kilometres an hour in 9.8 seconds. Top speed is 204 kilometres an hour. The Ford S-Max is available in 3 equipment versions. The basic model goes for €29,300 in Germany. Standard equipment includes an electronically adjustable driver's seat, automatic climate control and ESP with anti-slip regulation. But the van is not only practical, it's also fun to drive. Its handling is quite sporty, while shock absorption is pleasantly soft. So in our opinion, the Ford S-Max definitely lives up to its promise, combining variable storage space, comfort and sportiness. At this time of year, home improvement stores are particularly busy, with customers buying up spring cleaning products or plants for the garden. But how do they stow plants and tools in their car? Together with the German automobile club, ADAC, we investigated the consequences of improperly loading do-it-yourself store purchases. For the first crash test, the car is loaded by the book. Andreas Riegling from the German Automobile Club tells us that small and pointed objects should be packed in bags or boxes. Heavy objects should be placed as low as possible and flush with either a seat or a backrest to keep them from taking on momentum. Especially heavy objects, like the paint tub, belong on the floor, clamped tight with the front seat so that they can't be thrown about. To demonstrate the potential dangers of insecure loading, we simulated a head-on collision at a relatively low speed of 50 kilometers an hour. Even correct stowage still shows how much energy is packed into moving objects. The back seat is extremely bent, but the driver and passenger are not injured. And that's the most important reason to load securely, so the result is satisfactory. But who actually packs his do-it-yourself purchases as expertly as an automobile club tester? The second experiment reflects the habits of many drivers. Again, we stage a head-on crash at 50 kilometers an hour, but this time the load is poorly secured. We fold the back seats down, a mistake that many make. This provides more storage space, but the stability provided by the vertical backrest is lost. Most of the loaded objects are in a pile and not well secured. The result of the second crash test is correspondingly shocking. The unsecured load shoots forward with momentum of up to 30 times its weight. The front seats are severely damaged and crushed. The driver and passenger would have suffered severe lacerations in their arms, heads and necks. The damaged seats would have injured their spines. Shocking images that we never want to see in reality. So the moral of the story is, always use rigging eyes and lashing belts to secure bulky purchases. At the Zeithaus Museum in Wolfsburg, our tester Christoph Bauer is looking to take a classic car out for a spin. With over 100 milestones of automotive history on display, he's spoiled for choice. Today, he's hankering for a real high performer. And with the Porsche 911 Turbo, he gets just that. The 911 Turbo made its debut at the Paris Motor Show in 1974. It started out with a 260 horsepower engine, but in 1977 the car got a power boost. Thanks to its new intercooling system, the 3.3-litre motor could generate 300 horsepower. Christoph says the 911 Turbo is more than just a car. It's the stuff legends are made of. In the 1970s and 80s, there was no getting away from it. Whether you were a yuppie or a technical freak, a grandma or a kid. This car polarized people, Christoph adds. They either loved it or hated it, coveted it or vilified it. But it certainly didn't leave them cold. As the world's first turbocharged series production supercar, the Porsche 911 Turbo combined power with luxury. Originally designed as a race car, some last-minute changes to the regulations robbed it of its chances on the track. But not to be daunted, Porsche switched gears and turned the vehicle into a luxury sports car, though it retained one race car characteristic. It's turbo lag. Christoph says rally driver Walter Röhrl once described it this way. You step on the gas and for a few seconds nothing happens, then suddenly it feels like you've been rear-ended. Christoph says that's true. And provides a demonstration. Oh yeah, this baby really flies, he says. It's enough to strike fear into the hearts of the Italians at Lamborghini and Ferrari. When it made its debut, the 911 Turbo cost close to 66,000 Deutschmarks, 20,000 more than the priciest 911 Carrera. Still, thanks to its stunning looks and superior performance, by 1989 over 21,000 of the original Turbo models had been sold. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 5.5 seconds and a top speed of 260 kilometers an hour, that's what Christoph calls performance. But he warns inexperienced drivers to beware. If they hit the gas at the wrong moment and the turbocharger kicks in, the rear end could spin out on curves. Even Porsche knew the 911 Turbo was hard to handle. It's a real sports car and requires concentration to drive, this commercial states, but it rewards you with a high level of safety and driving pleasure. Those who equate driving pleasure with great acceleration and power will find few cars to match the original 911 Turbo even today. What a beast, Christoph says, noting that the 911 Turbo's trademark rear spoilers are hard to overlook. When the car was introduced, many owners of regular 911s had these whale tails added to their vehicles. Christoph says this didn't escape the attention of the designers at Porsche, and they eventually offered this turbo look for regular 911s, complete with tail fin, fender extensions and fatter Fuchs wheels. Christoph finds that all a bit embarrassing, though. The design of the 911 Turbo turned out to be a hit, though it was born of necessity. The wing extensions are from the Carrera 3.0 RS, with slight modifications, and a Porsche designer gave the body a final going over outside of regular work hours. Due to the firm's limited budget, his reward was a bottle of whiskey. The interior incorporated all of the optional extras Porsche had to offer. However, the huge intercooler for the 3.3-litre engine only arrived at the end of 1977. In terms of equipment and engine performance, the Turbo could be regarded as the top model in the 911 series. Still, Porsche decided to give the car its own number, the 930. They even marketed it as the Porsche 930 in North America. The original 911 Turbo wasn't lacking for anything, Christoph says, but the 3.3-litre model came with even more extras: power windows, power seats, power sunroof. But such luxury didn't come cheap. In 1974, the Turbo cost over €65,000, a third more than the most powerful naturally aspirated Porsche of the day, the Carrera 2.7. Even though it's incredibly powerful, Christoph says the Turbo is more of a Gran Turismo than a race car, and that sports car enthusiasts prefer naturally aspirated Porsches. That's because the Turbo only gets to flex its impressive muscle on straightaways. Every naturally aspirated 911 delivers more precise and smooth handling when taking curves. Still, the Turbo helped Porsche attract a new type of customer. Christoph says the 911 Turbo was the first and most successful turbocharged supercar. Its arrival put Porsche on a par with Italian supercar makers like Lamborghini and Ferrari. Compared to other supercars, Christoph believes the Turbo strikes the right balance between sportiness and practicality, between the racetrack and the supermarket. For that reason, he feels the 911 Turbo is truly a milestone in automotive history. And a legendary car model to boot. Little wonder, as 3 decades after it was introduced, the turbocharged 911 still packs a real punch.